Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about something that I mentioned over on the other channel that prompted a whole lot of questions. So, we're going to kind of delve into that topic a little bit deeper. A lot of this we've actually mentioned on the channel before, but referring to it the way I did apparently caught people's attention a little bit more. So, today, we are going to talk about Russia's campaign in Europe related to sabotage, for lack of a better word. I know that we talked about a couple of people who were picked up in Germany who were allegedly gathering information about military facilities in Germany so they could conduct sabotage operations at them. Some of those facilities were U.S. facilities. But on top of that, when it comes to the physical sabotage, the stuff that people normally associate with that word, you also have jamming of GPS signals, which impacts civilian aviation. You have a number of buildings that have caught fire that happen to be linked in some way to Ukrainian defense industries. Leaving the traditional stuff and moving into the computer-based stuff, there's a whole lot of hacking operations going on. And they do appear to be directed by Moscow. You have the ever-present disinformation operations that we have talked about a lot on the channel. And then there are a number of other cyber attacks happening. Then you go to the espionage side of it. You have bugs, listening devices that have been found. Poland, I think, yeah, it was Poland, caught a guy allegedly trying to pass information about an airport to Russian intelligence. The airport in question happens to be one that is pretty critical to moving supplies into Ukraine. There's a bunch of it. And European intelligence agencies have kind of been signaling more and more that this is escalating, that there's a lot more of it happening. And in fact, some of the stuff that they thought was unconnected is connected. So this will probably become more of a conversation. What do you need to know about this? First, this is pretty normal. I mean, it's not normal, obviously, but when you are talking about this type of conflict, an opposition force coming along and trying to disrupt supplies from behind, gather intelligence, gather information to allow them to better respond, all of this is normal. Even the buildings catching fire, that's something else that occurs when you're talking about these kinds of intelligence operations. Please keep in mind that for a long time, there was a pretty active string of buildings in Russia that caught fire. Those weren't all from, a Russian soldier being careless with his matches. It occurs. This type of blended warfare happens. You're just going to start hearing more and more about it because some of it is significant. And now there have been reported hacking attempts aimed at government officials at a level that is going to require a response. Now, in Europe, making these allegations officially, it gets kind of hard because of the burden of proof. But I would imagine you're going to start getting leaks, quote, authorized leaks, that detail some of the things that Western intelligence believes is happening. And it probably is. Russian intelligence wouldn't be doing their job if some of this wasn't occurring. Some of it is outside of what is best practices as far as protocol. But, it is nothing that is outside of the norm when you're talking about Cold War games. And make no mistake about it, Western intelligence is playing the same game there, done a little bit differently. There are reports, and this is light reporting, not fully sourced to my satisfaction, but there is light reporting that suggests Russian intelligence is actually hiring far right elements and just criminals to engage in some of these activities, which would explain why they're kind of all over the place and they haven't really been that successful. But I would expect over the next month to hear more and more about this in the US and certainly in Europe. So that's what that was about. Russia escalating their sabotage campaign or whatever I said. This is what it's about. It's becoming more frequent. It really doesn't appear to be more successful, but when you're talking about this kind of stuff, remember the failures are known, the successes are not. So it's hard to gauge that. But it's something that is occurring in the background that will probably get more coverage soon. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.